Good morning, my friends. I just wanted to show you a real quickie 1 week update. I did this can of worms last week, and they were, I got out 17 pounds. It was 5 of the big coffee cans full. And I was bound and determined that this time I was going to do this more of a dry bin. I usually add it, like a quart of water to, like if I have a new tray, I really wet it down. And once a week, I used to run a quart of water from the third, from the top on down, and then I would get all the leachate that would come out. And I always had, my little containers here that I would use that to water my plants. So the more you learn, the more you learn. The more you know you need to learn. Anyway, this is a whole week's worth, just doing it dry. You can see there's really maybe a teaspoon, a little bit more than that in there. And I'll take you from the bottom up. So I still had worms coming through, even though I only had 2 trays. I left the third one off, and I really worked this the whole way down. But you can see there's the well for it, and the spigot on the outside. But the last time I had probably 3/4 of an inch here deep, and like it just looked like brown pudding. And then these tops, because the worms like to come over here because this is their air holes, that they had all the castings were just packed on top of it. So after, like 5 weeks or 6 weeks, it really gets pretty thick in here. But this is just a week, and you can see some of the worms. There were probably maybe about 15 of them. You can still see them down in there. And not a whole lot of castings, but enough. I mean, probably like 1/8 of an inch. And I see some mites moving along. The mite problem has really gotten so much better since I was cleaning everything off. And so anyway, this is the bottom tray. Let me just get a scraper here. Sorry. This had gotten so low that because I combined the, what I had from the bottom and put it into scraped it off and put it into here, that I did add some bedding to it. And I kind of wanted to kind of fluff it up a little bit. I don't want to try and harvest anymore. I wanted to fluff it. I think you'll probably be able to see some worms there. I'm out on the back porch, and last night we had the most wonderful storm. Lots of lightning, lots of thunder, lots of rain. And when you have lightning, it adds nitrogen atoms to the water, and so it really gives a kick to your rainwater. And think about how nice everything always looks. Like the grass always looks nicer after it's rained because, well, all that nitrogen in there. So look at this. Nice amount of worms. No worm balls. I'm not expecting it. It's just castings and some bedding down here. I didn't add any food to it. I think this time maybe I will add just a little bit of eggshell and maybe some cornmeal, just to give them a little happy days. And I'm just working my way around here just to fluff up the whole thing. I don't think there's too many worms in here. 1,000 maybe, I don't know. I always find it hard to judge when they're just dispersed beautifully. Those are red wigglers. They're happy. Okay, so we're just gonna take that and straighten it out. That probably added a good, close to a good inch, ½ inch maybe, of fluff. And then I'm going to, I think I'll probably just get, I almost have like a spatula that I could go through here and just scrape everybody off and bring them back up into the top. And okay, so now over here, this is my top bin, which is what I add to daily. You can see, you know, if I get mail, I add that. Whenever I have my coffee in the morning, we add the coffee filter to it. There's some dryer lint. I added a piece of bread because I was going to collect the mites and take it off, and I showed you that. And then the next day, I mean, there were worms just over it. I couldn't find the bread. I thought, what on earth happened? And so I thought, gee, the worms like the bread so much, with soaked in low-fat milk, that I should just leave it there for them. So anyway, let's see what we got here. Oh, they're already making their castings down there too. And again, I feed all over, so I don't really ever expect to see huge worm balls. Whoops, sorry guys. The mites, I have been taking the lid off every morning and just take it over to the hose and rinse it off, and that seems to really, I mean, you know, it's hard to tell with mites. How many mites do you have? Nobody stands still, and they're all running in different directions. So anyway, oh, here we go. Here you're seeing a nice amount of worms. I mean, they tuck in. So you can see there are plenty of worms still in here. I could probably separate this bin and make another one, but you know, I have enough going on, and I don't really have any other place in my house to have a an inside worm bin. It's been getting warmer, and I know I'm eventually going to have to bring these oblong planters in the house so that the worms aren't out here in 95-degree weather. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to do. I just wanted to show you that. This is just a week later, and for those of you who do have a can of worms, what to expect, and for those of you who don't, I don't know if I would want to have to do this every week. I suppose I probably could. My friend Nana's Worms, she says she lifts hers off every week and checks them out, and she has so many, and I think, wow, that is really dedication. That was cornmeal, by the way. And now I'm going to add just a little bit more eggshell, and the eggshell acts as, it's been pulverized, and it acts as a grit, since the worms don't have teeth. And I'm not lending them mine, because they don't come out. So anyway, that was all I wanted to show you. I hope that I hope that this shows you what I have and how I keep it going. And I think very soon we need to inspect what's going over with my worms over here in the now meals off wheels section. You can see I keep my pots over here, and that really it almost like those of you who keep a blanket. I keep the pots there, and those pots kind of keep things cool, and they also keep it very moist on there. So anyway, I hope you'll subscribe if you like what you see, and ring the bell and come and see me again. And remember always to, garden what you've got. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.